Hello, happy Thursday. So, I'm Tabitha, and I am a life coach for modern homemakers. And you may be asking, what is a modern homemaker? Well, a modern homemaker is a woman that identifies herself as a stay at home mom, but may have like a side job, may have other like things that they enjoy doing, earn money at, but their primary thing is that they stay home with their kids and it's really important to them, or they're a stay at home wife. So today I wanted to talk about my three things that I think that are really important, and that's spiritual, mental, and physical areas of our life. And so I'm going to bring on my friend Emily Fitzgerald, and we're just going to have a conversation about it. So I'm going to add her here, and yay, it's adding. Yes,
Yay!
it's working.
Yay!
For joining me. Ooh, we got some shine going on. I needed to bring my powder.
You're all good. I think they're like three favorite topics. I love all things self-care and how we can, take care of ourselves. And these are three important ways to do it. So happy to be here.
Yes. So something cool about our friendship is that we actually met through church at a Bible study. So we've kind of always had that foundation for friendship. And then I found out what you did and like your background and one of your passions is health. And then we've also kind of developed our like business and mental capacities. So I'd love for you to share just a little bit about yourself and how you address the spiritual, mental, and physical aspects of your life.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's been so fun that we connected that way. And Tabitha and I are in we started a book club together, kind of around that umbrella of self-care and personal development and kind of entrepreneurship, because we both have our own businesses. And then we're also in kind of like a business meeting, like a business encouragement kind of mastermind, if you will, where we meet once a month with some other entrepreneurs. So that's just been really fun to encourage each other along that way. So yeah, which one do you want me to talk about? Or do you want me, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself first. But I'm Emily, for those of you who don't know me, I am a wife and a mama to three kiddos under 6, soon to be 4. We'll have a baby girl, in January, and we have one boy and 2 girls right now. And since I became a mom, kids are ringing the doorbell. Since I became a mom, I have been working from home, as Tabitha mentioned. So I have an online business I've been doing the last 5 to 6 years. But prior to that, I had a career in HR consulting. My husband is an ER physician, so we have a crazy schedule with that. But since with his schedule and becoming a mom the last 5 to 6 years, decided to transition out of the corporate world and have been working from home as a business coach, kind of using my background in HR, and a wellness entrepreneur for the last 5, 6 years. So that's a little bit about me. And then, how do you want to dive into the topics of like the areas? We're going to talk about spirituality, mentally, and how we focus on our mental focus, and just.
No, let's do that. It's been so fun having our book club and just growing our understanding of just capacity, and then being able to have someone to like talk it out with.
Yeah, it's been super encouraging. I think it's so important to have like friends at your level that have similar goals and ambitions, and just like that are positive, that can encourage you along the way. In terms of how I choose to grow mentally, we're obviously in our book club together, and I think it's great in terms of books to set goals for yourself. Like if it's to listen to one audiobook per month and to read one book a month, or maybe it's, and maybe one of those books is in a book club, maybe one is solo. I think it's great to set goals. I also listen to a ton of podcasts, and I'd be happy to share my recommendations, some of my favorites if you would like, but they're all kind of on that theme of self-care and business. Like those are just things that fill me up and just inspire me. Also, like meditation is really powerful, just getting still and kind of, tuning out there's so many different voices in the world of like telling you like you should do this or do this, especially for me going from the corporate world where things are so expected. Like, you work these hours, you get this salary, to becoming an entrepreneur are completely different mindsets. And so meditation is extremely powerful to just focus on like what fills you up and what you need, and like being in touch with emotions, which you know a lot about with your background with social work and life coaching. So meditation and developing a gratitude practice, and just listing 5 to 10 things you're thankful for, even 100 sometimes, like seeing how long it takes you to list 100. Affirmations are also something that I do. I have actual cards that I purchased, and it's just things that are, I am brave, I am courageous, like reaffirming positive things, attributes of yourself are a really powerful way to set your day. I would also just say, like, along those lines, like implementing routines that really add up. So not just like, hey, do some meditation, do some gratitude, but like, when are you going to do it and how? So like for me, like a morning routine, that for me, I had to like really play with it to figure out this really works for me. Like, I'm not a morning person, so I did start the day with like 10 minutes of yoga when I'm in my good routine, to wake me up. That, like, I couldn't just start reading or start meditating because I'd fall asleep. So like figuring out that routine. So like for me, my morning routine is yoga, and then meditation, and then gratitude, Bible time, doing those affirmation cards, and then going over my top 3 business and personal priorities of the day. So, I mean, that's just an example of what works for me, but there's so many different examples. So yeah, that's kind of like my top tips for how I choose to grow mentally and keep it a focus day by day. And, I think implementing those small habits really add up.
It does. I found with my routine, because I absolutely love routine in the mornings and the evenings, is that it's kind of nice to bookend our day with like structure and like consistency. It also helps with decision fatigue, because a lot of times we have to make so many decisions throughout the day. And if we have those routines already just kind of as habits, we don't have to think as much, we don't have to use our brain, and then everyone's just happier.
Yeah. So yeah, those are just a few ways that I've, focused on myself. Oh, and one I forgot to talk about is coaching, which is huge, and I know that you're a huge advocate of. And I do a lot of coaching myself through either business or wellness, like business coaching. But I also have a coach myself. I have a personal coach, and then I also have a mentor through my business. I have multiple mentors, and just like people where we encourage each other. I guess they're more like peers. Some are peers, some are mentors ahead of me in my journey. Some are more peers where we are kind of like how you and I are on our journey, like peers, where we're like, we want the same things and we can encourage each other. And then I also do part of 2 group coaching groups where like it's live group coaching, and that's been really powerful for different reasons and different goals too. So different ways.
And coaching is so important. I just think it's so neat that I found a like-minded friend where we can just admit that we don't know everything, and that it's okay to go out and seek more information and be around people that are wiser, and having mentors, having life coaches, having counselors, whatever it takes to kind of just help build your capacity, and fill in those gaps of things we don't know. Because even though we're highly educated women, like there's still a lot we don't know, and we admit it, and so we seek out that information.
Yeah,
So
and that's support too. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it's really energizing to have. I think coaching is very like solutions focused, so it can be really energizing that way. Where it's like, here are like some tools or solutions versus like counseling, which I also think is great, but it kind of helps you lead to your own conclusions. Like a coach is going to help guide you and like bring you to those solutions and tools more. So, yeah, sorry.
Absolutely. No, I love that. That's a great segue. I think counseling is wonderful to reflect back on things, heal, and it kind of gets you to 0. And then life coaching kind of gets you from 0 to like positive 10, like moves you in that direction of just thinking bigger, going after your goals, practical steps. Like you were talking about with, it's not just about saying, what did you say? It's not just about like having a goal. It's like when you're going to set out to actually do it. You're just really specific, that you don't just like come up with ideas. You actually like live it out. So
Yeah.
that's so great.
Implement it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now share with me about the physical side.
Sure. So yeah, this is obviously a huge area or pillar of focus for me as a wellness coach, which I've been doing for the past 6 years. And to tell you how I stumbled upon this, I stumbled upon kind of the entrepreneurship and health world, if you will, when I started helping other moms really actually start losing the baby weight, because I had just lost a ton of weight myself and gone through my own transformation. So I just started helping other people, and it kind of grew from there into a business and kind of launching me into the health and wellness world, which I absolutely love. And when we look at the research around our, if you will, our physical component, which composes of like what we eat and exercise, we know that working on this part of ourselves impacts our mindset as well tremendously. You would even say our spirituality, like our entire mindset. It's not just a separate thing. They're very much related. So like exercise helps us, we know that the research shows it helps us increase our focus and our productivity and helps us elevate our moods. And so for me, what that looks like right now when I'm pregnant, I do a lot of low impact stuff. Like I go for walks, I do yoga, I swim when I'm pregnant. When I'm not pregnant, I love training for triathlons. Actually, I try to do about one a year. So that's like a 6 to 12 week training period of running, biking, swimming, and then try to stay active the rest of the year. But yeah, when I'm not pregnant, I do a little bit more high impact than what I'm doing right now. But it's just so important to stay active, to keep us sharp, to keep our energy up. And then we also know that like what we eat is just as, if not more important actually than our exercise. That can also impact our productivity. And like when I'm working with my clients that are trying to get to a weight goal, for example, we know that the research shows that 70 to 90% of our weight, for example, if that's a goal you're working towards, is based on what we eat versus our exercise. And it's easier to accomplish through our nutrition than like hitting the gym 3 to 6 times a week. So what we eat is really important for our energy, our moods, how we feel, and even for our kids. I know we're both moms here, that what they eat is actually tied directly to their academic achievement, which is fascinating to me. Like we think, oh, it's okay, like they can have this or that, and everything in moderation. We're not perfect over here either, but also like, wow, like that impacts their brains and their development and their academic performance. And so part of my work as a health coach isn't just, helping moms lose baby weight. It's also helping families, make new routines. So it's not just a fad diet. It's food that your whole family will eat. It's turning it into a lifestyle. It's little habits, kind of with our mindset, like changing those small habits. Like if you really like, cheese, like how can we swap that out to other alternatives? Like just taking those, how can we add more plants or make swaps so it becomes a lifestyle and routine? So we have people working on goals. So I help people with, goals of like losing weight. We have detox programs or people who want more energy. We have whole programs for that, but then we also do a lot of education with families and, like we're doing an immunity event, or we'll do back to school, like healthy lunches that you can pack. So we do a lot of education to just integrate into your lifestyle. So
that's so great. Those of you that are watching, you can just see Emily light up when she talks about this. She loves helping women get to their like health levels, but then also help them get to their like business levels and goals. Something I wanted to hit on that you said is that your physical activity changes when you're pregnant and not pregnant. And I just wanted to encourage women out there that the different seasons we are in our life, like it's okay for our goals to kind of evolve with it, whether it's physical, spiritual, or mental. Like sometimes you just don't have the capacity to do everything that we had when we were single or when it was just a different season of life. And so just to like embrace that's okay. Give yourself grace and figure out what's going to work now. If it's something's not working that had been, that's okay. Reevaluate and try something different, because you can keep doing the same thing over and over. Don't get different results. Like maybe you should try something different. So anyhow, I just wanted to make a comment about that. And then also about the incremental changes that you were talking about with the health, in like what you're eating. That plays in nicely with the Habits book that you and I read. And so, just ladies out there, just for some encouragement, if you've got like-minded friends, like ask them what books that they're wanting to read or they're reading, read it with them, and so you can talk about it, because Emily and I probably were able to absorb more concepts to that book because we were able to talk it out.
Yeah.
So, awesome. And then one other area about the physical too that I wanted to bring up, because I think it'd be really encouraging for other women, is about sleep and how you've been really active with addressing some of the sleep things they're going through.
Yeah, and so I think that's another area where it's like there's seasons, and having grace of like, you know, just like you'll have your body when you like hit your goal weight versus postpartum versus when you're pregnant versus when you're not in a great season. Like those are just different seasons, and that's just a reality. And so we have to have different goals. Same with me for sleep right now. The last like few weeks have been a struggle with pregnancy. I'm not sure if it's hormones or what, but just showing that like as a health coach, like I don't have it all figured out, and was having some sleep issues where I was like falling asleep just fine, but was waking up like 1 to 3 hours a night. And it was really frustrating because, as I just mentioned, like our sleep, our exercise, our food, like that impacts our energy and our mood greatly in the day. And so I've just been working with a bunch of, I tend to try to go more on the natural, holistic side of things, but my husband's on the he's a Western medicine doctor, but I've been trying everything to try to help, like went to acupuncture, actually went to chiropractor, and that's been helping a lot, although my chiropractor was transparent with me as well, and she says she struggles with her sleep too. So it happens. Even though chiropractic can help, it's not like a cure-all for that. Just trying to be more strict with my routines, giving myself grace of like, okay, I'm pregnant, like maybe even though that morning routine I talked about is so important, like maybe it doesn't happen right now because my sleep is more important than, doing those things, and I can do those things later in the day. And then there's some other things. I've been doing some medications that are like just a sleep aid that's safe for pregnancy. My chiropractor also suggested more in the natural realm, magnesium, because oftentimes when we aren't sleeping well, it could be like a magnesium deficiency. So that's something to look into as well. So I don't know if I have any tips and answers. Luckily it has been better the last week or two. So thanks. Yeah, but yeah, there's ways, different solutions that I've been working through. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren. Yay. Well, I just think it's so important to encourage other women to not just feel stuck when they have problems like sleep, that other women go and seek out professionals, and like you said, like you've tried a couple different things and they may or may not have worked. And so just keep trying. Like, don't just settle for not sleeping. Don't just settle for not feeling good. Take those steps to go seek out the help that you want and deserve, because you deserve to feel good. Okay, so let's jump into spiritual. Tell me about how that area in your life, like you keep a growth mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Just prioritizing it and hitting it every day. And that might look different in different seasons that you're in. Like when I first became a mom, it's like, wow, even getting 15 minutes of quiet time is very difficult. Like, what does that look like? But yeah, I try to do a morning or evening routine of reading the Bible or devotional or prayer time. Normally we go to Sunday service. Right now we've just been watching online with everything going on with coronavirus and everything like that. And then I think a huge component for me is fellowship and community, actually. So I always try to prioritize a women's Bible study, because I just love hearing as important as like the individual prayer time is, and that's what it's all about, is your relationship with God. I love hearing how God's working in other people's lives. I think it brings an awareness and appreciation for me of like just a perspective, and just having people to pray with and just go through life together has always just been really important for me. I think more so even than my husband. I think he's very like, his faith is very logical, intellectual, and that's how he relates to God. And for me, it's like, no, I need to be like in community, doing life with people. So that's huge for me.
And I love that God created us also uniquely, that we can connect with Him at different levels, and that's okay. I love the community aspect too, because I feel like God uses people, specifically women in my life, as tools to encourage, to maybe convict, to, whatever it is. I think community is so important. And Lauren Graves, who's watching, was in our Alpha Table group through church. And so that's kind of a neat connection that we have. This is awesome. So do you have any other things that come to mind that you do that kind of just continue this mindset?
I don't know if I have any like things that are top of mind, but it's just, for me, it's like always something I'm working on every single day, like to make sure to touch, like, how am I taking care of myself physically, or maybe it's looking in advance for the week, like when am I working out, what am I eating, like meal planning, being proactive about it, instead of like, if you don't have fresh fruits and vegetables to reach to, you're going to reach for things that are easier to reach for, like processed food. So being more proactive. And it goes for like your spiritual and your mental health too. It's like, we know that, eating fruits and vegetables are good for you. And we know that we want to do gratitude and meditation and journal and read. But then if we're not proactive about it, like we can find ourselves scrolling on social media for more time than we want to. So it's like thinking through, what does that look like on a day by day, or maybe through the week? How am I getting that in? And so just being more proactive and planning ahead about it. Otherwise, life happens to us and we're busy and we get overwhelmed. And so then we're not taking care of our self-care, So
it's so true. It's so true. And to also just offer encouragement to ladies again, like find those people in your life that they're just like-minded. Like I found Emily, Lauren, who's watching, actually Jen, who is watching too. She was a friend that I've had since I lived in Colorado so many years ago. And it's so nice to be around women who are like-minded. And they say that you're the average of like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So that like made a big difference for me, because I'm like, but what if I miss around my kids? Like, what does that make me? Oh my gosh, I need like some actual like adult time to help like bring that average up, bring that maturity up. So finding like-minded women in my life has just been so impactful, and it takes work. You almost kind of have to date around to find those friends, because it's not just gonna happen. And then you have to invest, you have to be transparent, and friendship's hard, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, and I would say for people who are feeling like, wait, I don't have those like 5 people in my life, or I don't have people that like I really care about my, for me, like my health and wellness, but like, or my spirituality, whatever it is, but I don't have other people in my life that share that. Like, my encouragement would be to just pursue the things that matter to you, and you'll find those people that like are wanting those things too, so yeah.
Yes. Well, Emily, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope that you have an amazing day. And thank you, everyone, for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments. And Emily, I think at one point you said you may put something in the comments. What was it?
I had just said like if people want my podcast like recommendations.
Yeah.
I can put those in the
Please
comments.
do, because I want to know that.
Awesome. Sounds good. Hopefully this is encouraging. Yes. Have a great day.